1535 Coverdale Bible. The Epistle of the Apostle St. Paul to the Hebrews. The sum of this epistle. Chapter 9. The profit and worthiness of the Old Testament, and how far the New excelleth it. The 9th chapter. That first tabernacle verily had ordinances, and servings of God, and outward holiness. For there was made a fore-tabernacle, wherein was the candlestick, and the table, and the showbread, and this is called the Holy. But behind the second veil was the tabernacle which is called Holiest of All, which had the golden censer, and the ark of the testament overlaid round about with gold, wherein was the golden pot with manna, and Aaron's rod that flourished, and the tables of the testament. Above therein were the cherubims of glory overshadowing the mercy seat, of which things it is not now to speak particularly. When these things were thus ordained, the priests went always into the first tabernacle, and executed the service of God. But into the second went the high priest alone once in the year, not without blood, which he offered for himself, and for the ignorance of the people. Wherewith the Holy Ghost this signifieth, that the way of holiness was not yet opened, while as yet the first tabernacle was standing, which was a similitude for the time then present, in the which were offered gifts and sacrifices, and could not make perfect, as pertaining to the conscience, him that did the God's service only with meats and drinks, and divers washings, and justifyings of the flesh, which were ordained unto the time of Reformation. But Christ, being an high priest of good things to come, came by a greater and a more perfect tabernacle, not made with hands, that is to say, not of this manner building, neither by the blood of goats or calves, but by his own blood entered he once for all into the holy place, and hath found eternal redemption. For if the blood of oxen and of goats, and the ashes of the cow, when it is sprinkled, halloweth the unclean as touching the purification of the flesh, how much more shall the blood of Christ, which through the eternal Spirit offered himself without spot unto God, purge our conscience from dead works, for to serve the living God? And for this cause is he the mediator of the New Testament, that through death, which chanced for the redemption of those transgressions that were under the first testament, they which were called might receive the promise of eternal inheritance. For wheresoever is a testament, there must also be the death of him that maketh the testament. For a testament taketh authority when men are dead, for it is of no value, as long as he that made it is alive. For the which cause that first testament also was not ordained without blood. For when all the commandments according to the law were read of Moses unto all the people, he took the blood of calves and of goats, with water and purple wool and hyssop, and sprinkled the book and all the people, saying, This is the blood of the testament which God hath appointed unto you. And the tabernacle and all the vessels of the God's service sprinkled he with blood likewise. and almost all things are purged with blood after the law, and without shedding of blood is no remission. It is necessary, then, that the similitude of heavenly things be purified with such, but the heavenly things themselves are purified with better sacrifices than are those. For Christ is not entered into the holy places that are made with hands, which are but similitudes of true things, but into the very heaven, for to appear now before the face of God for us, not to offer himself oft, as the high priest entereth into the holy place every year with strange blood. For then must he often have suffered since the world began. But now in the end of the world hath he appeared once, to put sin to flight, by the offering up of himself. And as it is appointed unto men that they shall once die, and then cometh the judgment, even so Christ was once offered to take away the sins of many, and unto them that look for him shall he appear again without sin unto salvation.